But when you don't study with the group and practice what you study, like there are many people that have read the Bible, but if you don't have those, if you are not using it in real life, is you will say, yeah, I've read the book of James. Yeah, but if you've not practiced it, it's irrelevant, right? So, okay, so go through the book and maybe next time, but I want everybody in here to cultivate the habit of being bold, speak, be confident, be able to take action, right? That is what I require from everyone in here, and that is what we are doing right here at CSDP. Guys, one thing that I've realized in our nation, and I've been sharing this with some friends this morning, is at the end of the day, when you look at our country, you look at our leaders, most of them are old, and very soon they will pass on. What troubles me the most is the leaders that will take over after they are gone. Because the positions that they do occupy right now, it might not be the best that we are getting out of the nation, but what scares me the most are the individuals that will take over after they are gone. The question each and every one of us should ask is, are we ready? Are we preparing ourselves that if an opportunity shows up to serve, we'll be able to step up and do something? If we look carefully at the crisis that we have been in, it was easy for people to think maybe if they read some books, go through some studies, watch some videos, they can lead a country. You've seen how many presidents from this movement have been created. Just imagine what will happen if these old people pass on and then there is no one or group of individuals that can coordinate themselves and lead a group of people like Cameroonians. And that is why I'm encouraging us here to cultivate leadership skills. It might not be serving in the government, but at least if you have an opportunity to say something or put people together or help people believe that they can come together and do something, you can be able to speak up, stand up and say, let's do it this way. Let's go. Martin Luther King was not the president of America, but he could say something that moved the entire nation, including presidents, governors, civilians, could move towards a direction that ignited hope in the people. Is this making sense? And that is what is very, very essential. So that is what frightens me the most. Today, I want to share with us briefly on a subject. That is why, like, I encourage everyone joining. It's very important that people turn on their camera, because most people are not present here. Some people can be in a meeting, but they are not there. Because when you turn on your camera, you are engaged. At the end of the day, you look around like this and do nothing productive, and the country will still be the same way if we cannot just be present here, right? So this is the reality that we are dealing with. If we come for a meeting, we know we are here for this meeting. We are engaged in this meeting. And that is what set us apart. So I want to talk to us today about self-esteem. It is very, very important that every human being has self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, you will struggle through life because you will not even have an identity. You're not confident about yourself. You don't know who you are. And so if you don't know who you are and you have low self-esteem, anyone that steps up and speak or say things the way they feel and based on what they know, you will always be threatened. And that is what I've seen, just observe, just the way I came across maybe the way I came to the Cameroon community, addressing certain things, people look at me and they were like, who the hell do you think you are? If you read some of the comments that people are attacking me out there, you're like, oh, I can tell your self-esteem is really low. That's why when you see me, you're frightened. But if you meet confident people, when I meet confident people, I'm not threatened. I'm like, come on, that's a good angle. If Apostle Emmanuel is speaking and he says something, he hits me, I'm like, damn, that's good, man. I like that. I'm taking notes. I'm not threatened. We're enjoying that kind of energy because it should be normal. Do you understand what I'm saying? It should be normal that we live. That's what the Bible says we should be and do. Be confident, be courageous. This is who God made you. And when you are in the presence of someone that is confident and you are confident, you are not threatened. You guys communicate and you benchmark, you share ideas, and you guys expand and move the world forward. But if you have low self-esteem, you start criticizing even what the person is even saying and how they say it, because you don't know who you are and you have low self-esteem. And so that's very, very important. And that is today. That's what, if you have low self-esteem from today, you start thinking confidently about yourself. The way you act out there, the way you behave around your friends, relatives, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, they should feel that this individual have high self-esteem. They know who they are, right? People who have low self-esteem are those who will go around poisoning people, hate on people, gossip about people. They don't know their worth. And so everything around them is a threat. Is when they see your success, they see how you advance yourself, it's just uncomfortable. Like, I knew you. How come you're thinking this way now? You're talking this way now. You have all of those things now. You see what I'm saying? But because we are studying these books, we are understanding better who we are. When you go out there, you see rich people, the first thing that comes in your mind is not that they are cultists. Like Apostle Emmanuel said, no, people who got there, they work hard. They think differently. They set up their money in a whole different way. This is how they see money. Rich dad. Rule number one, the rich don't work for money. The rich don't work for money. And what do all of us do? We work for money. Most of us, we work for money. And these are timeless principles and secrets that rich people have understood. They know how to structure their lives, and that is what sets them apart, right? So we'll talk on this very, very important subject called self-esteem. How do you develop self-esteem? Like, I encourage everyone coming in here, have a pen and a paper, take notes, because you review them later. Like I said, everything we are studying within these books, I'm also throwing light into what you're studying so that it expands your thinking, so that you become a very formidable force. You become unstoppable. Like the courses we are taking, become unstoppable in life and in everything that you set your mind to do. So, number one step towards building an unstoppable self-esteem is living consciously. Living consciously. Have you realized it's like some people, they look like they're walking, but they look like they're dead? Like, you probably seen people like that. You see, they look like they are alive, but they don't exist here. They are not conscious about their environment. And you talk to some people, you ask them even what you said, they tell you something else. They are not conscious. You ask them, did you see this chair? Did you see this table? And no, I didn't see it. You're not here. You walk past a certain road, you see something, they walk past that same road, they don't see it. They are not in the moment. That is why either people build castles in the future or they live in the past, like what our nation is dealing with. I don't understand what a young man will be doing with a case that happened in 1961. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, we are now, this is 2024. What is happening now? Let's look at what is going on now and how we can do what we got to do right now so that we can see a better future. Let's create new history. And you will go lose your life over some story when I was not present. And somebody say, oh, talk about that story. I'm like, give me the facts. I was not there. Were you there? If you were there, give me the facts. If you were there, what did you say when you were there? They told you this. I need to know the facts. So, oh, they shut this person's business. The taxes are too high in the country. And that is why business, I want to know, did you work for that company that was shut down because of taxes? Say, no, I didn't work there. It was my brother-in-law. I'm like, how can I get the facts? I want to know how the business was structured. I want to know who was involved. I want to know the workers. I want to know what they were doing in that business. Did they know how to run that business? Did they set up the business right? Did they actually get a tax expert to structure that area of their business? If I don't have all of that data, I'm not going to judge that because I don't have a clue. They're like, oh, no, now you're a lot of public. I'm like, you see, that is your thinking, and you got to deal with that. I don't. Because why? I've run businesses, and if a business fail, I debrief. And when I debrief and I look at it, I'm like, this is what went wrong. There are many businesses, even in America, that have been shut down by the government. This business is no good, we close it down. The ethical practice is not good, we shut it down. The corporate social responsibility, people don't have a clue about that, right? And this is what I want us to understand, guys. Conscious living consciously. Be engaged. Don't just hear what people say, feel their heart. It's not just the words, there are some emotions that are being projected through those words, and that is why I want us, when we come here, let's interact. When I'm talking, I'm looking at your faces, the energy. When my tone is high, is low, I'm conveying something that is emotional. The reactions in your faces tell me how you're engaging. This is living. This is conscious living. When you're somewhere, I'm here. I can feel like right now there's nothing distracting me except being here. Living consciously. Because this is what happens, guys. When you don't live consciously, you always have low self-esteem. You can't fake it. You have low self-esteem. Number 2, self-acceptance. And today you have to make some points under this. Number 1, you make some points. What can I do to increase my consciousness every day? You might come up with maybe 3, 4, or 5 points. What can I do to live consciously? Because I am present here. When I live here, my self-esteem goes up. Right? Yeah. Like I gave in my all. If this was the last meeting that I held in my life, or sat in a room like this with my brothers and sisters, I gave it all. I was here. Are you guys feeling me? Yes, and that is the difference. And like I was here. Self-acceptance. Many people find it hard accepting themselves. That is why if you look at our nation today, you see a lot of that going on. Some people want to talk like Nigerians. Some people want to copy everything from Nigeria. People don't have a self-consciousness or accepting who they are. Like, this is who we are. They carved a certain geographical territory, named it Cameroon. It has a flag, a national anthem, a culture, and a way of life, because you are Cameroonians. We are different. We speak English and French. That is a country. I don't have no choice over that. That is how I came into this world. We can turn it all around, but that is what I grew up knowing. All of us, right? And self-acceptance. I accept that. Now, in many relationships, some people go into maybe a marriage, or you're dating a boy or dating a girl, and you have low self-esteem. And that individual, some people might leave you in a relationship just because you feel low about yourself. Every time it's like they don't understand what is going on with you, because you feel low. And that's why you see, even the way somebody, like, I mean, I don't want to call people's names, but however, like, you put a boy and a girl and you say, okay, date this girl. And you hear the kind of words, because we're going to work on the men here. As you're in the single group, I want to hear how you date a woman. It's coming. I want to hear your pitch, because you got to sell yourself, and I want to hear what you say. So you understand what I'm saying? And self-acceptance, you're talking like, I mean, what's going on? This me, and you say what you have to say, and you don't ramble your words. When you don't speak clearly, you have low self-esteem. And she's like, no, I don't think you're the one. And you turn immediately, cut you off, right? My wife will tell you here today, my statement was bold. I'm going to marry you. You're my wife. I've been looking at you. You're my wife. That's it. I didn't think about dating. We've been friends, and you're my wife. We'll get married, and we'll have a good life. And this is what the life is going to look like. She's like, are you serious? Are you crazy? We haven't even dated. You just jump like, I mean, it's a terrible line. Don't use it. It's too hard. I mean, like, that is out of line. But that's how I came across. And she ran away for about 9 months. I went and thought about it. And then she called me like, man, let's sit down and talk. That is it. And from there, I'm like, this is it. We'll be thinking about how we will plan the life in the future. I didn't have to be. You see what I'm saying? Guys, you got to be confident. And when you come across like that, even if you should know who you are. Even if the woman turns you down, I mean, she go think, all the guys that come around, they want to go sit down and have burning fish. We have the little, let's drink some. You see what I'm saying? You go all through. No, you got to accept who you are. And the way you overcome low self-esteem is self-acceptance. And as you accept yourself, I encourage you, accepting yourself is receiving your totality. Like, this is who I am. Receive yourself. Some of you shy away from yourself. This is who you are. God made you that way. The way your nose is shaped, the way your ears is shaped, the way your eyes is shaped, God made you that way. You got to accept that person. When you accept that person, it increases your self-esteem. And I'll encourage us. Somebody's mic is on. You want to turn that off, please? Because this is how we see unstoppable individuals in Cameroon. Women that are confident in who they are. Yeah, your friend might have that going on right now. Maybe they're dating that guy that is driving that car, and because of that, maybe it's through that car that you get into a private car to go out to date, and so your friends are making you feel low about yourself. Know who you are. Even if you know who you are and you meet a man who knows who he is, tomorrow you guys will drive in the car better than the one that you see your friend driving in with the boyfriend right now. Know who you are, and when you're around them, you're not intimidated, and you're happy for them. It doesn't move you. You see what I'm saying? And this is an exercise that I'll give to you guys today. I want you to stand naked in front of a mirror today for about 2 to 5 minutes. Look at that person. Don't let the mirror be full. You see you, or at least from your waist up, see that person. Look at that person in the mirror. All your cracks, everything about you, your hair, the way it is, everything. Just look at yourself. Love every part of your body and say it. Receive you. Say, today I accept me. This is what God made me to be. And everything that I see was enough for this journey of my life. I love me as I am. Yeah, do that today. And sometimes when you feel like you're low a little bit, you accept yourself, that person that I saw in the mirror is me. And when you go out there and start looking at people, they'll be confused about what is happening. Yes, I receive me. Your self-esteem will go up. Self-responsibility is the next step. This is the kind of Cameroonians we are raising right now. You knock an office of a big man and you walk in because he has all that accolades, you're frightened. No, sir. You introduce yourself. Hey, sir, how you doing today? You greet them. Oh, no, come with 2 hands and you're making all of this like that. No, you shake their hands. How you doing today, sir? And you smile. And you look at them in the eyes like, how you doing today, sir? I didn't come with a private car, but I came. Me, I was here. It was me. It was not the car. It was me. It's not about the bank account. It was me. It's me. It's me. How you doing today? My name is XYZ, and this is the reason why I came to your office today. Can we sit down and talk? Do you have 5 minutes? Okay, I don't have 5 minutes. Okay, when next can we talk? It sounds different. They'll be like, oh no, can I see this man? No, you don't come around like that. Nation builders, we don't come around like that. Oh, he's not around. Can you come next week? And you beg, oh, please, can I see him? I've been begging him. My documents are here. I've been looking for. No. Okay, he's not around. Okay, when will he be around? Confidence. Just go out there today and start talking to people the way I'm saying, and you see your self-esteem goes up. The next is self-responsibility. Taking responsibility of yourself, both your actions and your behavior. In the past, in the present. Self-responsibility. Both the things you've done right and the things you've done wrong. You are not making excuses for both the things you've done wrong or the things you've done right. You are accepting that was you. That was you. That relationship you got into, that act that you did, it wasn't right, but that is you. You're accepting you so that you can be able to move forward and do better. Or encourage what you've done and say, yes, I will do that more. That would increase your self-esteem. Like when we talk about responsibility, understanding that I'm not just living life like that. If this country has to be better, it's up to me. I am responsible to make Cameroon better. There are some factors I have absolute responsibility over. I don't have responsibility over how everybody else thinks, but I do have responsibility over how I think and how I act. Self-responsibility. Right? Like I was watching a clip today, and a man was saying, I think one of the people back home, they were sharing a story, and they're like, oh, there was a crooked cop, like a crooked police officer that goes around disguising like the separatists and is extorting money from the locals, and they figured him out. And I'm like, guess what? If everybody sees that crooked cop around or that crooked police officer, the assumption is that this is the government acting, but this is somebody who has no sense of responsibility of duty. You're sent out there to do the right thing, to protect the citizens, to serve them. Guess what happens to that kind of person? They will have low self-esteem. You can do all that trash for so long, but it will shrink your self-esteem. You cannot be confident. If you know that you're a mom, you're supposed to take care of your children and you're not. If you're a dad and you're supposed to take care of your children and you're not responsible. You see what I'm saying? You show up late. When you show up late, you always have the word "I'm sorry" in your mouth all the time. And people will say, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." They have low self-esteem. When I show up on time, I have nothing to apologize about. And so my self-esteem goes up. Immediately when you walk into a room because you were late and you say, "I'm sorry," how do you feel after that? No, you feel comfort. I mean, like you are at the mercy of that person that you came late. So your self-esteem drops. These are little techniques that I'm showing you on how you don't understand how people have leverage over you. Like they call it leverage. Yeah, so like leverage. British English, I'm mixing it British and American English, but they call it leverage, right? People have leverage over you over these little techniques. You come into a place and you greet somebody with your two hands and they stretch their one hand. That is little strategy. They've just put the bar down a little bit and you're down a little bit and they're up. So self-responsibility. The next is self-assertiveness. Assertiveness. Self-assertiveness. What does it mean to be assertive? It's to believe in what you know is true. And you develop the courage to stand on what you believe is true. You have that conviction not to change or double your words over what you know is true and you believe, and you have the courage to stand up and say it. You are assertive, right? Like having the understanding that the pathway towards our growth and prosperity can never be completely depending on the government. I guarantee you that. You see, like the crooked police officer I just talked about, even if you have a new government, you still have an individual like that in the community. Until they change their thinking, the same system will persist. And there are people that want to go along with that kind of police officer, and as you go along, you continue that cycle. Self-assertiveness is to stand up and talk about that and say, we disagree with this kind of behavior in the community. When you guys start being assertive, you have self-esteem. Somebody will throw a peeling of banana on the road and you tell them, pick it up. We don't do that here. I pay taxes in this country, and you should not dirty the road. You should not walk around and you just stand in the gutter and you pee in the gutter. You don't pee in the gutter. You don't do that. You go somewhere, bro. This is how we start looking at our community, and people walk around and why is it that Foncha Street is clean? Because of the way the people behave in Foncha Street. Why is it that my one upstation is clean? Why is it that in Bastos, this street? Because of the way the people behave around there. You don't do that here. This is what self-assertiveness is going to do. Stand up and speak for what you believe. It was very uncomfortable for me to stand up, look at the situation in our country, and be able to address some of these leaders. It was very uncomfortable. But based on my research, based on what is happening around the world, I'm assertive on what I believe. And I know that if every Cameroonian get plugged in and they are studying and changing their thinking, they are responsible, they are making, they think about money differently, think about responsibility differently, think about accepting themselves differently, living consciously, we will have individuals that are bold. That is why when you meet an American in a room, it's not about the dress that they wear. You will know that you met somebody that knows who they are. Not every American, but majority. In our situation is the minority. You meet very few people with high self-esteem, but with these individuals, you meet more of them with high self-esteem. They don't need to dress too fancy, but when you shake their hands and they look at you in the eyes and they just ask you how you doing, you know you met a man. You know you met a woman. You met someone who knows who they are. That is what God wants for all of us, not for a reserved few. So when you start showing up early, you speak confidently, you know who you are, you don't say sorry all the time because you do the right thing. Because some people might say, I don't say sorry. If you do the wrong thing, you have to keep saying sorry. So you correct that habit so that you don't be at the mercy of others where you have to be saying sorry. If not, you still say sorry if you are doing the wrong thing. But know that is going to bring your self-esteem down. The next step is living purposefully. When you're living with purpose, your self-esteem goes up. Like you see this 20 years plan that we have for our nation, because we are on this kind of bus, there's no way you shouldn't feel different about yourself. No way. If you look at the 12 disciples around Jesus, do you think that they had high self-esteem or low self-esteem? They had high self-esteem. Even when Jesus Christ was gone, Peter stood up and preached, and the comment was, this man had been with Jesus. They were living with purpose. They were different. And you think it's a problem? No, if you feel threatened, you got to deal with that. We are different. CSDP, we are different. And we will be confident enough to make that declaration. We are different. You think say witty, I think I'm something. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they say. Like, what the hell do you think you are? We are something. You've never seen us. This is new. So we are living with purpose. I woke up in the morning, I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew what I was supposed to get myself involved in. I knew what I would be listening to. I knew the books that I would read. I knew what I would say. I know that I'll meet beautiful people like you guys here. We have this beautiful conversation. After this, I'm going to another meeting. I'm going to meet some amazing people, have amazing conversations. I just want to say, yes, when you are living purposefully, you should have high self-esteem. These are the kind of Cameroonians that we need. This kind of people, when they come together, they are not intimidated. They just start moving forward. Let's build, let's go, let's grow, let's do something. Oh, you got that part, I got this part. Oh, you're going that way, I'm going this way. So that you tackle that problem, I'm tackling this problem. When we meet in front, it is solved. We are not here being each other, fighting each other, all this little crap thinking, and we don't have all of that, right? So the last is personal integrity. And that is the last. Personal integrity. This is what is going to increase your self-esteem. Integrity, integration, your words, your actions, your beliefs, your conviction, they all integrate. When you say what you believe, you do what you said, you're somebody that people can trust. Because of integrity, your self-esteem goes up. So living consciously, self-acceptance, self-responsibility, self-assertiveness, living purposefully, personal integrity. If you cultivate the habit of asking yourself the question every day, what can I do to increase? How can I increase my ability, my skills, my knowledge, my understanding, the way I live my life in these areas every day, just for 5 minutes? How can I increase? And as you begin to do that, you begin to realize, oh, you wouldn't even realize, people around you will start telling you that you feel and act differently. And it's okay. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So now I want to ask a question, and then we're going to wrap up this session. Or we open up for people to put in their input. How many of us in here would have loved to be, or to have your name in the Bible? Like you own one, or maybe you wrote one of the books in the Bible. Like maybe the book of 1 Peter, 2 Peter, or the book of James. How many of you would have loved that?
I would have loved that my name to be there.
Yeah, me too. I would have loved that. I mean, like the book, I would have loved my name to be in the Bible, like one of the authors of one of those books.